Today on the Trent Out Loud podcast. On yesterday's episode, we told you that this Friday was Elon Musk's last day in the Donald Trump administration. But in today's episode, I'm going to tell you about a tweet that Donald Trump tweeted out. And take a wild guess what that tweet is saying. This will be Elon Musk's last day, but not really, because he'll always be with us. Bruh. Now, I understand having homies and riding for your boy, but this bromance is a little too much for me. This ain't no random tweet. He's subliminally sending a love letter to Elon Musk. You know, kind of like those guys that have side chicks and they can't publicly say anything about them, but they put out subliminal things. This is a love letter to Elon Musk, man. I'm convinced. Donald and Elon sitting in a tree. D-O-G-E-I-N-G, D-O-E-N-I-N-G. That's what they do on their little like secret love talks. Like, oh, you're doing so good with Doge. So are you, boss. I can't handle it. What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, depending on what time zone you're in, it's Friday night or Saturday morning. And since it's still a Friday, I get to yell out, it's Friday! What up, y'all? We made it. All right, this is a special edition as promised because I missed Monday. There was no court. I promised you guys that I would fill in and make up for it. So here is your Friday night, Saturday morning special episode. All right, I have a good show set up for you guys. I have one lead story. Mia was back on the stand again today, and Diddy's defense team cross-examined her, and they went in. I will tell you guys all about it. In quick news, we're going to talk Megan Thee Stallion, Elon Musk, Offset, Angela Bassett, and Donald Trump. As always, we're going to close out the show with comments of the day. I got good comments today. Social discussion of the day, question of the day, and a little bit of sports news. The Knicks won. Let's go, Knickerbockers. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, or your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. All right, you guys, I have a little bit of a breaking story. President Trump says he would look at the facts when questioned if he would pardon Diddy. For my daily listeners, y'all know that I have told you that people behind the scenes have been telling me that they are working diligently on trying to get a pardon from Donald Trump. Y'all, not all, I'm about to say y'all, some people have dragged me for it. Oh, he would never do that. That's impossible. Not my Donald Trump. No way. Diddy is this, whatever. I have some video for you that I would like to play, and listen very carefully. I'm going to read this and then I'll play the video, okay? President Donald Trump spoke during a press conference with reporter regarding whether he would issue a pardon for Diddy. First of all, I would look at what's happening, and I haven't been watching it too much, Donald Trump said. Donald then added that he hasn't spoken to Diddy in years and noted that nobody's asked for clemency. Look at the video.
Apprentice, you mentioned once in 2012 that Diddy was a good friend of yours back then. He has since found himself in some very serious legal trouble.
Yeah, that's right.
Would you ever consider pardoning him?
Well, nobody's asked. You had to be the one to ask, Peter, but nobody's asked. But I know people are thinking about it. I know they're thinking about it.
Hold up. Nobody's asked, but I know people are thinking about it. Oh, what? Did you say something about him wanting to? But, bruh. Donald Trump almost spilled the beans, yo. Almost spilled the beans. Take a listen.
I think some people have been very close to asking.
Sorry. How are some people very close to asking? What does that mean? Oh, I know there's people that are very close to asking, but nobody's asked yet. Bro. Anyways, let me continue playing.
First of all, I'd look at what's happening, and I haven't been watching it too closely, although it's certainly getting a lot of coverage. I haven't seen him. I haven't spoken to him in years. So, I don't know. I would certainly look at the facts. If I think somebody was mistreated, whether they like me or don't like me, it wouldn't have any impact on me. Mr.
President. He went on to say that they haven't spoken in years. They used to be really good friends, but then he heard clips of him saying nasty things about him when he started running for president. Y'all know that people, Diddy was like, oh, Trump is no good, don't vote for him or whatever. But then Trump was like, regardless if somebody likes me or not, if, what did he say? He said that regardless if somebody likes me or not, I'm going to do what's right. And if they're mistreated, then I would pardon him, I'd let him out. The fact that he said that he was thinking about it, he doesn't know, he'll look at the facts, speaks volumes. And the more important thing that I wanted you to see is I know some people are close to asking, but they haven't asked yet. Stop it. Could you imagine if he pardoned Diddy? Like, I know he's not running for presidency again, but there's midterms. People would destroy him, man. But I've seen Donald Trump do crazier things. Well, actually, maybe not that crazy. But I mean, look at January 6th. That's pretty crazy, right? And look at him now. So I honestly don't believe that they haven't talked for years. I don't believe that they're not friends. I believe that Diddy had some stuff to say with him politically, but those two guys are business guys. And if Diddy has something that he can offer Trump, I feel like Trump would pardon him for an exchange of something. That's in my heart of heart. Like I told you from like 6 months ago that I heard that Diddy and his team were working on getting a pardon from Trump. And I said that I think that he would. I'm not saying that he would for sure. I said I think he would, because Donald Trump has shown us repeatedly that if you have something that he could benefit from and you're his friend, he'll ride with you to the end, bro. They've known each other for 30 years. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our first lead story. Mia undergoes tough cross-examination from Brian Steele after saying she and Diddy were best friends despite the SA allegations against him. Brian Steele asked, "How are you best friends with a man you say R-worded you?" All right, I hope nobody gets triggered by that because that was such a stupid question. But even though you and I might think it's a stupid question, I'm going to let you know after why I think he still did it, or why he still asked it, but just hold on, okay? I'm going to go to my notes as always from people who I know that are in the courtroom. Like I said yesterday, I do go over the transcripts, but I like to hear what people are seeing. I want to see I want to hear what the victims are like sounding like, their body language, their tones, and everything. Okay. So one of the great things that I heard is Mia is on the stand today, but she seems so much more relieved and a little bit more upbeat. Yesterday, I told you guys that her head was down. She was playing with her hands. She was very, very timid and seemed like shy, going through a lot of like PTSD. But what somebody was telling me is that yesterday that was her testimony, and she was, reliving almost everything that she had to go through with Diddy, right? And how he R-worded her and SA and all the horrible things. And they're saying that it's almost like a weight was lifted off her shoulders getting that out. So look, I'm sure it still must be hard for her, but just good news. And I wanted to start off to let you guys know that from what we could see, she's feeling a lot better today. So I'm happy happy about that for her. The next thing was she has this was about her job, okay? She hasn't been able to hold down a job since 2017. And she says that she has PTSD whenever she gets a new job and her boss says anything to her or sends an email or a text message, she gets flashbacks of working with Diddy, and it's just traumatic, and she ends up leaving or it never works out. So she hasn't held a steady job in close to 8 years. Okay, so that was that. Now, that was in her testimony. That ended, I can't remember, like 10 or 11 o'clock. And then we go to the cross-examination from Brian Steele, okay? I'm going to read you a couple of things. But first, what I want to start out with the cross-examination, again, this is what's amazing about having people in the courtroom. A lawyer friend of mine told me that he's never seen somebody do this on the defense, and he thought it was brilliant. Before the jury even came in to be seated for the cross-examination, they all had a binder on their chairs. And the binders were evidence of her social media, which I'm going to get into, and everything that they're going to be talking about throughout the day, throughout her cross-examination. so that they could go back and look at it. And for one thing, I'll just tell you, she said on her social media that her and Diddy were best friends and congratulations and happy birthday. And they took things up, like trying to cross-examine, saying, hey, you said he was this monster, but your social media doesn't show that. And so not only are they going to hear the cross-examination, but they get to leave with pictures of her social media, which my friend was telling me that was super, super effective. So that's the first thing that we got. Second thing is just what I told you. The prosecution pretty much throughout the day, this was like their biggest win, was they went through her social media and they found a lot of posts talking about Diddy and the company, whatever, etc. Some people are already saying, well, yeah, she worked there. Like, she's obviously going to post about her job. She knows that that's what Diddy's going to want. Doesn't mean that she cannot be going through things. But again, like I said, that's the trial, right? That's where we're at. One person says this, oh, this is what I did just because I was in the situation. And then the defense is going to come and say, well, this is not what, your social media says. So let's not try to get into that. This is what the trial is. But one of the things that really stood out was she said yesterday that when I think it was like the first or second time that Diddy R-worded her was on his birthday. Okay, I don't remember what the birthday was. I think it was his 40th birthday, if I'm not mistaken. She said that's the first time it happened. But they found social media posts that every birthday after that, she was making a post to him saying, Diddy, yo, you're my best friend. I just want to celebrate your birthday. And Brian Steele was like, yo, if that was the day that you were R-worded, that must have been traumatic, right? Yes, she said, yes, it was most traumatic. And he says, that's the day that you chose to post about Diddy and celebrate his birthday because that's the anniversary when you were R-worded. Again, you could think that the jury might be thinking, yeah, how could she do that? Or you could be thinking, hey, we all know how victims are. They don't come out right away. That's how they deal with trauma. It's trauma bonding, etc. But you got to think of the people who don't believe in that and don't understand the way how victims operate. This could be a damaging cross-examination. That's why the title here was, sorry, what did it say here? And the title was undergoes tough cross-examination. Okay, a couple of other things I want to tell you about. So early in cross-examination, Steele asserted Mia told prosecutors she doesn't remember how many times she was SA'd. He circled back on this assertion and asked, how do you forget about waking up with a man on top having his way with you? Mia replied, I was in fear of upsetting him. The moments other than that, we were best friends. Steele says, how are you best friends with a man who was R-wording you? Mia says, ask my therapist. Oh, sorry. There's another thing. This has to do with when she left Diddy working at Bad Boy in 2007. I thought it was a pretty big highlight. She said she left the company in 2017 when Diddy wanted to shut down Revolt Films. She says they were working on a severance pay for her. Now listen to this. During 9 months of mediation, her attorneys asked for around $10 million. She said they settled on $400,000. Her lawyers got half, so she only got $200,000. But here is where the plot thickens. She said around that time, she had mentioned some of the violent incidences against her, but she said she never brought up the alleged essaying or the R-wording. And she said on the stand, no, I didn't bring that up. I was going to never bring that up. She's going to take it to her till she DIE'd. Again, somebody on the panel could say, hey, this happened to you. You never went to the police. Okay, fine. We heard from a therapist. We heard about victims. We heard about trauma bonding. Sometimes it could take years, etc. You were out. You had your severance package. You're not working anymore. We're bringing him to court. You're bringing up these incidences of, remember we told you, like, he slammed the door on her arm. He threw stuff at her or whatever. He was not a great person. We all know that Diddy is the scum of the earth. But why in your settlement do you bring up that, but then leave out the R wording and the essaying? But now today you're bringing it up. And she just said, like I read you, hey, ask my therapist. You guys have to decide how you feel. I can't tell you how I feel. I can only tell you, what are the facts and what, how both sides are going to see it. Now, ultimately, it's up to the jury, and it doesn't matter what we think. But hey, we're here to talk about it and at least draw our conclusions, right? Now, earlier on when I first started talking about this, I said I thought it was such a dumb question. Brian Steele saying, why would you stay with a guy, or why would you keep working, or why would you post this if a guy R-worded you? And I thought it was stupid because the prosecution has already brought up an expert witness, Don Hughes, that testified in was it Blake Lively or no, Johnny Depp, and also Harvey Weinstein. Anyway, she's famous for doing this, and she's helped people win a lot of court cases. And so I'm like, if the jury already has that in their head, where we understand trauma bonding, we understand victims, why would he do that? Doesn't that make him look bad? But then I realized Diddy's defense, and I told you guys this yesterday, they had a part, just like how the prosecution, in picking the jury. They know the psyche of some of the juries on there. We don't. Remember, we don't know who the juries are. They get to deep dive into the jury and put the 12 jury and 6 alternate. That tells me Brian Steele and Diddy's defense team knows that there are a few jurors, or if not at least one, that doesn't believe in Don's theory, because it's a theory, right? This is how victims typically are. Is that how Cassie is? I don't know. Is that how Mia is? I don't know. I've never studied her. She's not my client, but I could just tell you what the studies say, how some victims could think. Some juror or one juror could think, no, I don't buy that. I don't believe the psychology of that, because I'm a man or a woman, and if something like that happened to me, if I ever got R-worded, then I'll go right to the police. So I don't accept the fact that you're saying that you were R-worded and you're still working for the guy and you're posting on your social media saying that we're best friends. They know that they have a few, or at least one jury that is going to agree with them. That's why they keep on asking these questions of how can you do this and how can you do this? And just to drive my point home even a little bit more, remember that last lawyer that Diddy got on his defense team, the black woman? Oh, I forgot her name. I think it's Nicole Westmoreland. I broke down and I told you her story, that she was R-worded and she sued Cash Money Records. I don't know if she sued civilly, but she also sued criminally for somebody, and they also pled guilty. So she was a victim, like how a lot of these women who are going on the stand, and she was essayed and R-worded. She, the next day, went to the police, and I feel like they're going to play on that, and she is probably going to do the closing arguments, and again, weigh on the jurors who don't believe in trauma bonding, don't believe in victims taking 2, 3, 4 years to come out, or they feel shame, et cetera, et cetera. And now, for those of you who don't know trauma bonding, we talked about that. I even played a clip of my great friend, Dr. Alfie, who really broke down trauma bonding. I don't remember what episode it was, but anyways, you could just Google it. Anyways, that is it. That is Mia, and that is the cross-examination. Again, up to you guys to decide how you feel about the cross-examination, and it's really going to come down to your belief system. It's really what it comes down to. 2 other things I want to tell you guys about is, before I go, I want to tell you guys something about the judge, and I want to tell you something about, I feel about the state of the case. But there is one thing. Brian Steele asked her, do you have evidence that you were R-worded? And she's like, no. But again, when I was hearing these things, I was like, why would you ask a woman that? Do you have evidence? But again, he's playing to one or a few jurors that he knows that they put up there that are going to be like, you have no evidence? You don't have an R-wording kit? You didn't go to the police? Where is your evidence? Where we talked about direct evidence. You have direct evidence that happened? No? Okay, so maybe it didn't happen. They're really leaning, and we'll find out soon, in a month. Can't come soon enough if you ask me, who that juror is, or jurors. Okay, the last thing I want to tell you guys about, again, is just the state of the court. Now, somebody told me that they feel like the judge is being more favorable to Diddy's side, to the defense team. So when they have objections, it's most of the time sustained, meaning like the prosecution will be asking objection. Yep, I agree. Objection. Change your question. Versus the prosecution, whenever they object, the judge says overruled. The person was telling me that it's happening way more time on the defense team, and not only is the judge sustaining and agreeing with the defense, when the prosecution objects, even if they are not overruled, the judge will say, okay, defense team, you can ask a question like that. The prosecution is right, but here is a way that you can ask it, where a judge is not supposed to help the defense say, formulate a question that can't be objected. Now, you got to think to yourself, why would he be doing this? Why would he be leaning this way? Brilliant move. As I told you guys a bunch of times, Diddy knows that although they don't have direct testimony, that the circumstantial evidence and the testimonies are very, very, very damning testimonies, right? These women are getting up there, they're very emotional, Cassie being pregnant, etc., all that. They know, because they don't have direct evidence to prove his innocence, that they're leaning on getting a mistrial and an appeal. However, if you go back and you try to get a mistrial and you look at the whole court docket and you see you want a mistrial, why? Well, what are you going to do? Complain about the judge? Now, if the prosecution messes up, that's on them. But you're gonna complain about the judge? Hey, he's been so nice to you. I look at this, all your objections, they were sustained. So it's a smart move. The judge knows what Diddy's team is trying to do. They've already tried once for a mistrial. I think it's actually maybe twice they tried for a mistrial. So they know that if they go to an appeal judge and say, hey, we asked for a mistrial twice, he didn't grant me, and he wasn't a fair judge. What are you talking about? He wasn't a fair judge. Look at all your objections. Look at all your sidebars. He was helping you. If anything, this guy was on your side. So love that the judge is doing that. And the last thing is, a lot of people are telling me that they're getting pretty bored in court. A lot of people didn't show up today that is normally there daily. Now, I'm not saying that nobody is there, but it's just not as crazy as it was in the beginning, which is understandable. But the mood in the courtroom is, okay, we get it. A lot of people are saying they feel like the prosecution should rest their case and let the defense put on their case. Like they feel like they've done enough. I have said that pretty much all week, where I feel like, okay, it's getting redundant, not taking anything away from the victims, but they all are saying the same thing. Like, we get the point. The assistants, they're all saying the same thing. We get it. The free cost. We get he was putting hands on Cassie. You're not bringing us anything new. And why that's risky is, if we're feeling that here on the outside, if I'm feeling that just talking about it for an hour and a half a day, people in a courtroom are sitting down for 6-7 hours a day. Imagine how the jury is feeling, right? And they don't have, they're not allowed to talk about it. They're not allowed to let that out. They're not allowed to go back and get on a podcast and let out their feelings or talk to their neighbors. Who knows if they are or not? But, so I did tell you guys yesterday that the prosecution says that they are not going to call all of the witnesses they have planned, and they're going to take a week less. Maybe this is why. Maybe some of their witnesses are leaving. We don't know, but that is the mood in the court. So, yep, that's everything. Mia, yes, Brian Steele, the judge. That is everything. That is your recap for today. We did this, and there was maybe around an hour, maybe 2 hours left in her cross-examination. If anything else comes up, we'll talk about it on our Sunday night Monday podcast. Yes, I'll probably do a Sunday night Monday podcast. Maybe not. This might stand for the Sunday night Monday podcast. We're not too sure yet. But like I said, if there's anything more, we'll put it in the next show. Let me know what you think about Mia. Let me know what you think about the case in the comment section below. I was about to say something, but I'm going to stop. Let me know in the comment section below. This brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. Our first quick story. Academic shares alleged photos of Megan Thee Stallion's feet the night of the Tory Lanez incident. He says, no GUN shot on any foot. Here is the picture. It's a little bit of a blurry picture, and you can't really see her heel where the alleged GUN was shot at. So I don't know how, really what this is telling. But this is just another piece of evidence. We've heard a bunch of things all this week. Over the weekend, I'm going to try to put everything all together. I know I said that I was going to do this today, but this is a little short bonus show. So we're going to try to do a little bit more of a deep dive on Monday's show and just bring everything that we've been talking about for the week. Like, what is going on? What is Tory Lanez doing? We already told you now that the driver that was driving Kelsey saying that he overheard her say that she was on Who Did It. That is now official. That has been sent to the court. There's the ring video. There's the video that we played for you, I think 2 days ago, of the gentleman that says that he saw it and he saw a girl with a GUN. There's a lot of evidence. Megan Thee Stallion's lawyers have answered it. We're going to put it all together and bring you guys up to date with everything on Monday's show. But for now, let me know what you guys think about this past week. Do you think Tory Lanez is going to get out? Do you think Tory Lanez is innocent? There's a lot. Like I said, this picture doesn't necessarily do anything for me, but all of the things that we've been hearing, it's a lot. Is Tory Lanez innocent? He came out and said he literally is doing this to protect Black women. He said, I didn't want any of them to get in trouble, so I took the rap for it. Do you think Tory Lanez is innocent? Do you think he's going to get out? Let me know in the comment section below. Our second quick story. Elon Musk alleged DRUG use and family problems raise alarms during the Trump campaign. Get into this. The New York Times, according to the New York Times, Musk's alleged use of DRUG escalated with heavy, I can't say what it was, but the specific DRUG that he was taking. It started to affect his bladder, and his recreational use of another type of drug was affecting his other organs. He also allegedly carried a daily pill box with a bunch of other things in there. Despite a drug-free, I just said the word, I'll leave that out. Despite a DRUG-free workforce policy at SpaceX, Musk reportedly received advance warning about DRUG tests, raising questions about enforcements. At the same time, Musk's personal life allegedly grew chaotic with legal battles over his children. Grimes, the mother of his third child, alleged Musk violated custody agreements by exposing their son X to high-profile public appearances. Another former partner, Ashley Sinclair, relieved that she secretly had Musk's 14th child, rejecting his attempt to conceal the paternity. Musk's erratic behavior reportedly included mood swings, binge eating, hours of gaming, public gestures. Y'all know the public gestures that we're talking about, that German one. All of this has alienated some former friends and sparked scrutiny over his toxic tendencies. Despite his defense of DRUG use for depression, insiders claim his use blurs lines between medical treatment and recreational. All right, I'm not too sure why this is coming up now. I don't know if the New York Times is just discovering this, but they're saying that all of this was happening during the Trump campaign. Now, I don't want to judge anybody, but you could kind of tell that Elon Musk, does the DRUG. I could see it clearly. And he hasn't really denied it. He says he's doing it for depression and just mixes in different things. But when it's coming to the point where it's like affecting your bodily organs and stuff or whatever, and you're alienating people, it's pretty serious, right? And you know me, I make fun of Elon Musk all the time. He's my favorite person to make fun of. But this does sound serious, and it sounds like he could have an issue. And this, of course, is no joking matter. I don't know how you get help for somebody like Elon Musk. He's, you cannot tell him anything, right? And he seems like a functional using DRUG addict. So yeah, like I said, it's pretty sad to hear about this, and I hope he gets well, or maybe him going back and being, he said he's going to go back to work 4 or 5 days a week or full time. Anyway, so going back to work full time, maybe the fact that he's back at Tesla and SpaceX and doing all this stuff will kind of get him more in a groove to not have to be taking all these medications. But get well, Elon. Our third quick story. Offset tax debt reportedly nears $2 million amid Cardi B's divorce, and federal and state lien has been filed. Offset financial woes are piling up alongside his split with Cardi B, with nearly $2 million of unpaid taxes now looming over the rapper. In Touch reported that the Georgia Department of Revenue filed a lien for $294,000 over 2021 state tax, adding to a $1.57 million federal lien from last year. Both remain active. The couple married in 2017 and is in the middle of a divorce, with Cardi B requesting primary custody of their kids. Offset is also battling a $232,000 judgment in a Miami case. Yeah, pretty sad. I wanted to tell you guys about that, but also I heard that Offset is asking for spousal support from Cardi B. Now, let's not gender this, because women ask for spousal support all the time. So if he feels like he needs spousal support, I admit it is a little funny to hear a multi-platinum rapper who is, has cars and homes, all this is like, hey, I need spousal support from my wife. But I don't know, maybe this should have been in like social discussion of the day. I don't know. But look, if Cardi B is making $100 million, okay, let's say she's making $30 million a year and he's only making $4 million a year. If they're getting a divorce, he does have a right to ask for spousal support. Hey, I didn't put out as many albums because you were out on tour and I was here taking care of the kids or whatever, blah, blah, for how many ever years, I want spousal support. I don't hear a lot of people talking about it because I'm sure he doesn't want that to get out. And I also have heard that he's telling people who find out about it, like, oh, I'm just doing this to, piss her off. I'm just doing this because I'm able to. I don't really need the money. But you're in debt and you have tax liens and you don't really need the money and you're just doing this to upset her. I'm sorry, I don't believe you, but shout out to Offset. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our fourth quick story. Angela Bassett poses with her Madame Tussaud wax figure in Orlando. All right, for those of you who've been following me for a while now, you know that one of my favorite things to do is judge Madame Tussaud's wax museum and the figures that they do. I have to say, I think, who was it last time? Can't remember. But I literally, for the past 2 or 3 years, have been dragging them. I can't remember who it was. The last time it was spot on. This one might be the best yet. You cannot tell who is who. And the person in the white is the real Angela Bassett. And in the black and brown with those stars on it, that's the wax figure. That's crazy. The wax figure looks better than the real person. That makes no sense. The only reason why I know that the wax figure is a wax figure is because the wax figure only has one pose, or else I literally would have thought the one in the white was the wax figure. That is crazy work. Look at the face. That, of course, when you zoom in, you could see it's wax, but that's crazy. Anyways, I love going to Madame Tussaud Museum. My parents used to take me there when we went to England. I think that was the first one. Maybe it's the only one I've actually been to, but of course, no, they put it out online. I want a Madame Tussaud wax museum, a wax figure one day. You think I'll get there, y'all? Let me know what you think of Angela Bassett in the comment section below. Our fifth quick story. Donald Trump put out this on Truth Social. Yesterday's show, I told you guys that Elon Musk is done. Not that he's fired or not that he's did anything wrong, just that his time as a special administrator with the Donald Trump administration has come to an end. Y'all know that he wanted to be out of there like 2 months ago, but he didn't want to show that it was a complete disaster, so he stayed the whole time. I don't even think that he was working there the last 2 months. I think they were just doing that to like keep up face. Anyways, Donald Trump is still trying to hide that it was a disaster and says, I'm having a press conference tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Elon Musk at the Oval Office. This will be his last day, but not really, because he will always be with us, helping all the way. Elon is terrific. See you tomorrow at the White House. Oh my gosh, yo. This is like, remember when he brought the Teslas on the at the White House floor. What do you call it? The garden, whatever. And it was like, Teslas are amazing. I'm going to buy one. Like, he'll do anything he can to help Elon, not only because they have a bromance, but because he knows that Elon and this Doge thing was a complete disaster. It ruined Tesla. It ruined his wealth and everything. But y'all know Donald Trump. He's going to ride for his people, and he will make sure that Elon Musk gets as many government contracts as he needs, and anything that Donald Trump can do to help him for the sacrifice that he made, he will do. So I'm not worried about these billionaires at all. All right. I'm not worried. And like I said, Trump is going to make sure over the years he takes care of Elon. I think it's funny. This, like, he's going to be here. He's amazing. I'm sure Elon's probably like, yo, can you not tell them that I'm going to be there? Can you stop? I'm going to try to see if I could find this press conference and just watch Elon's face. He's probably there like, I'm out of here. Buy a Tesla. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, this brings me to my favorite time, comments of the day. All right, I'm super excited to get to your comments. However, y'all know I have a very important question to ask you before we get to that. Now, it's Friday night or Saturday morning, depending when you're seeing this, and you're probably watching on your computer, laptop, or cell phone, or maybe on your TV. But I have a question. Are any of those devices vulnerable to data breaches? Well, let me answer that question for you. Yes, they are if you're not using today's sponsor, Aura. And if you're not using it, I have great news. I have a link below, aura.com/Trent Out Loud, that will give you a free 14-day trial and let you know if any of your information has already been breached. I know, I'm amazing, people. No problem. I love y'all. That's why I do it. If you've ever wondering how scammers get your phone number or why your inbox is filled with spam, here is why. There are companies called data brokers that sell your data. They do it without your consent, and they make billions of dollars selling it to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. This is why I recommend today's sponsor to my family, friends, and even the Out Louders. Aura takes care of the hard part, automatically removing your info off of sites and keeping it off. Now, every day I read this and I joke around because I like having fun, but I'm telling you, your information is at some point somewhere have taken out. You can't tell me you've never got a spam call or you've never got junk in your email. Aura could go on these sites and take everything down for you, and they keep it off. It's amazing. Aura is an all-in-one digital security platform. Some of you might be wondering, hey, I already have digital security tools, but not having Aura is like having your front door locked with those other tools, but leaving your back door open. Aura gets everything for you. It's 360, 100. Like, it's amazing, right? It's like that dome that Trump's saying that he wants to build to protect all of us. With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal information is found on the dark web. You have fraud alerts for your credit card and banking, which is amazing. They offer you a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and they also have 24/7 customer support, and their customer support is amazing. With all of that, even as things go wrong, Aura offers a $5 million identity theft protection plan. So you're covered on both ends. They're actually really amazing. Go now to my link below, or I'll put up the QR code. Take out your phone, take out your camera, or open your camera. Follow the link. It is free for 14 days. After that, if you want to continue with them, that's up to y'all. I got none to do with that. I just wanted to get you guys the 14-day free trial. Just try it. See what comes up. I told you guys, I get emails, I get DMs. You'll even see in the comments, people are like, yo, love Aura. Amazing. It is a US-based only subscription right now. So you'll see some people in the comments like, yo, I'm in England, or people in Canada and they can't get it right now. So Americans, be happy that they have this. And to the rest of the world out there that watches the show, like I always say all the time, it's a global podcast. Aura is working on bringing this to other countries, and they say the minute they get it, we will have first access and we'll give you guys all the perks. All right. But for now, anybody who's in the US that wants to try this out, it's free. Okay. For those of you who have never heard of Aura, they were the jersey badge for Minnesota Timberwolves, who are unfortunately out of the playoffs now. But here's a picture of Anthony Edwards and Carl Anthony Towns from when he used to play with the Timberwolves. Just wanted to show you how much of a large company they are. So go now. All right. Let's get into comments of the day. Now, Texas Emerald said, hey, Trent, happy Friday. Happy Friday. Just wanted to add the 5 love languages if you were still curious. Words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. Thank you so much. I never remember all of them, but I can't remember. I think we were talking, was it question of the day or social? Anyways, can't remember what it was, but thank you for reminding me about. I wanted to share that with you guys. Let me know what your love language is. I keep telling you guys, for me, it's quality time, quality time. To me, that's a standout. I'm not really a big gift guy for myself. Acts of service is nice too, but I feel like that could be wishy-washy. Words of affirmation, like for me, quality time is the best. I'm not saying that it should be yours because everybody's different, but for me, that's the one thing you can't fake, right? Words of affirmation, I could say anything I want to, and I don't mean it. Quality time, spending 10 hours with somebody, time is money, man. Like there's a lot of things to do, but if I choose to spend my entire day with you and morning with you and weekend with you, like, of course it could be fake too, but I just feel like it's hard to fake. Receiving gifts, shoot, man, anybody could do that. Acts of service, that's actually a good one too, right? Because acts of service, that takes time. Anything that's time that can't be bought for me is a good one. And physical touch, I feel most people like a physical touch. Anyways, thank you for reminding me about those. Texas Emerald also said, enjoyed the show as always. Keep up the hilarious intros, amazing content and facts, along with the passion you provide in every show. Dawn out louder from Dallas. Till next time. Peace on. Deuces. All right. Thank you, Dawn. Appreciate that. All right. The next one is, I think it's Eugene. Eugene says, I tune in every day and listen to the whole podcast. Love your show from Brooklyn. Yo, what up, Brooklyn? Brooklyn in the house. Yo, go Knicks. Go Knickerbockers. I want to get somebody in Brooklyn from here, but thank you so much. And I love to hear that you listen to the whole podcast. I say all the time, do I make them too long? Should I make them short? I love when people are like, yo, make it as long as you want. We listen to the whole show. Appreciate y'all. Next one is from Marzan. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Marzan says, I agree with you and your assessment of the trial. It's basically he said, she said, and unfortunately, the real tangible evidence was likely purchased or hidden. Also, as a reminder, RICO keeps coming up because the prosecution team chose to charge him with a federal RICO case, not DV. Hiring SEX workers in the state that they reside or putting hands on charges. To get the years they're trying to book, they are going to need more than hearsay that speaks to the actual RICO charges. I was hoping they had more than disputable statements that show a paper trail, something besides an email Cassie sent to her own mother demanding money. Looks like a setup that went wrong. Diddy is no criminal mastermind. These folks all got paid to hide the truth. I love this show, Trent. Marzan from Wisconsin. All right, Marzan, thank you so much. Thank you for liking the show, and thank you so much for your comment. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough because we all know that Diddy is scum. We all know that he has huge mental issues. I told you guys, I feel like he should be in a mental asylum. Like he's just a sick individual. That the evidence that we're looking for, they don't have it. They would have showed it to us in the first couple of days. I really don't think that they're going to save it to the end and we're going to hear this bombshell or see this bombshell evidence. Let's hope. Let's give them time. But Diddy got all that taken away. Anyways, I wanted to put this out here just to show both sides. There's a lot of people in the comment section that believe, hey, this is enough. The testimony is enough. Put them away. Here is also people that feel on the other side and say, it's not enough. They feel like it's he said, she said. Are there 12 jurors that think one side? Is there one who thinks like Marzan? We shall see. Okay. Next comment goes to Country Love. Country Love says, Trent, thank you so much for not covering the Blake Lively circus. I came here to get away from it. Laugh out loud. Keep doing what you're doing. Sending love from Texas. I keep telling y'all, man, I'm going to go out and do like a live from Texas. You have so many viewers from Texas. It's crazy. Courtney, thank you. Sorry, Country. Did I call you Courtney? Country Love. Sorry for that. Country Love. Thank you for your comment, A. Also, too, I 100% agree with you. There's a lot of things sometimes that I'm like, I'm purposely not going to do just to make it different. And I know there's people that, well, a lot of people that are covering the Diddy trial. It's too big not to cover, but that's why I try to cover it the way that I do and come from still an opinion base, but do from like a legal standpoint where I thought it was a little bit different than, just only being the emotional side of it. So that's one way, is to cover something and be different. But I feel good that you're like, it's a break and it's different than what everybody else is doing. Like, we all try, right? Next one is Kentucky born and raised. The way I just hollered, I normally listen with ear pods. I forgot to charge them. Therefore, I was listening through my phone speaker. My husband works 3 shifts, so I'm working in my office beside our bedroom. And you yelled, "It's Friday!" And my husband yells, "Why is he yelling?" I said, "That's his energy." Okay, I love that. I love this comment. Yeah, man, that's me. Some people would be in a comment section like, "Hey, why are you yelling at us?" I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling with you. I'm excited, and I want you guys to get excited. That it's Friday that's coming up. Anyways, love this. Thank you so much. All right, the next one comes from Country Love. Oop, I took 2 from Country Love. I didn't even realize that. I believe Diddy is guilty and a sick man, but I agree with you, Trent. It is just unsettling testimony, not giving any receipts with direct evidence. Y'all hear me say daily on this podcast, whenever I'm talking about anybody else, I'm like, yo, where are the receipts, bro? DDG, where are the receipts? Haley, where's the receipts? Offset, where are the receipts? I always say it like, where are the receipts? People lie. I'm not saying these people are lying who are under oath. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying people do lie. It's been known to happen, and they've been known to lie under oath. I've seen it happen a bunch of times, okay? It sucks, And I feel like when I first said this, people were kind of like dragging me a little bit, like, oh my gosh, how could you not believe them, believe victims, whatever. But I feel like more time that progresses, more people are starting to see that they're on their 15th person, and it's literally just testimony. And I think that's what's bringing people around. Little bit of a side note. We're in comments of the day, so this is where I get this talk. I want to give myself a little pat on the back for a second. By the way, I'm very big on giving yourself love, because if you don't love you and you don't applaud yourself, then nobody else will. So I'm a fan of that. Not too much to get to my head, but a little bit. I want to applaud myself, because there's sometimes I come on here and I'm like, oh, I feel this way, or I'm seeing this way, and I don't want to trigger anybody, or I don't want to like get anybody upset, or I don't want to turn any viewers off. But I literally say to myself every time I start recording, Trent, if you're just true to yourself and honest and speak from your heart, then the people who are going to want to stay are going to stay, and the people who are going to want to leave are going to leave anyways. So I know sometimes my opinions are not popular, and I'm actually going to talk about this more in social discussion. But I'm really happy to see that my view on the Diddy case wasn't really popular last week or 2 weeks ago. And now people are starting to come around and see what I was saying about the testimony. And if I hadn't been confident enough to keep my opinion, I would not have been honest, and I would, which is something I can't do. Like some people tell me like, yo, you're a little too honest sometimes, but it's just something, it's just how I'm built, make a long story short. Anyway, so I just want to applaud myself for sticking to that, my opinion, good job, Trent. All right. Next one is from BX Chef. I agree, Trent. I really hoped for more direct evidence. Prosecution has one shot at this, and this is far from a slam dunk for the prosecution. I hope for the witnesses' peace of mind he doesn't walk free. Totally agree with you. I didn't even realize there's so many comments that were agreeing with me today. I honestly didn't do that on purpose. But that's the sad thing, is the witnesses, like going through all this, Cassie going through all this like a week before she's to give labor. Like it will be so sad. It will be so sad if he just straight up walks. That will be horrible. It's going to be, no matter what, if it's a mistrial, if it's an appeal or whatever. And just to reiterate something, we already know he is guilty on one count, right? The sex trafficking over state lines, that we know he's guilty of. Unfortunately, it doesn't call for a lengthy sentence, and he'll get off with time served. So when the verdict is read, you're going to hear in the headlines, Diddy found guilty. The feds will technically get a win. And that's what I don't like about, the feds have a 98% success rate. Yes, because they'll obviously put on a charge that is obvious, but then they'll put on something like racketeering, which is super hard to put on. So technically they got him on a charge and he will be found guilty. So he'll technically win. It's the same thing with Young Thug. He's out, time served. He technically was found guilty, but he's out on time served. That is 100% what's going to happen to Diddy. Now, the SEX on forced fraud and coercion and the racketeering, we'll see what happens. But just keep in mind, he will be found guilty on that last charge. Unfortunately, it doesn't give him a lot of time. And I guess in closing, and I know I'm talking a lot about Diddy, but it's pretty much a Diddy episode. In closing, maybe the witnesses and the victims, they will get something out of the fact that Diddy was in jail for a year. Let's not take away the fact that he is in jail. And MDC is a horrible jail to be in. They have told you that from since the beginning. So he's not in a nice place. He has lost close to $500 million. A lot of people are winning a lot of these civil suits. Not the frivolous ones from Tony Busby, like, Cassie's real one, and a couple of the other ones that we know that he's going to have to settle when he comes out of this. So maybe he might not spend the rest of his life in jail, but his name is completely ruined. He's not going to be able to come back to the entertainment industry and have the power that he once had. He's not going to be able to make the money that he once had. So the picture I'm trying to paint is, at least the silver lining is, this wasn't done in vain, and it's not like he's going to walk and be the Diddy that he once was. It sucks that he will be a free man, but he will not have the power, he will not have the money, and he will not have the authority that he had before. And he's in jail for a year, so it's not a complete waste. Anyways, I've talked enough about Diddy. Let me know what you guys think. Oh no, we're in comments of the day. Thank you guys very much for all your comments. I think I missed saying one thing about somebody's comment here. Hold on, let me just go back. Oh yes, I wanted to say something about Texas, about enjoying the intro. Thank you very much for saying that you love my, it's Dawn, that you're saying that you love my intro. I work hard on my intro. Thank you so much for saying that you love it. Forgot to say that. Thank you guys, all of you guys, for all the comments. Again, don't forget to click on the link below. Aura is the truth. They literally just go out on the dark web for you after signing up for free and let you know if any of your stuff is out there. It's really just simple, and it's free to sign up. Go to my link below, click on the this QR code, send me an email, DM me, or put it in the comment section below how your experience was, so that everybody could get on Aura. This is my mission. I want all the out louders signed up. Thanks for all the comments. All right, y'all. This brings us to social discussion of the day. All right, I have a very, very good social discussion. A good friend of mine sent me a voice note after she watched the show, and it was about Trump. And I'm not going to say who it is. If she wants to reveal herself in the comment section, she will. She comments every day. And you guys are familiar with her. But the voice note was, Trent, you said that you have to give Donald Trump credit for saying, hold on, what was it? You keep giving Donald Trump credit for campaigning on the things that he was going to do and giving him credit for actually doing it. And I totally disagree with you, because he says in his campaign that he said he was going to lower the price of groceries and lower the cost of living, and he hasn't done that. And then she went on to say, like, I don't like Trump, I don't like people that like Trump, et cetera, and went on. It was 4 minutes. My question is Does liking Trump mean that you're a bad person? And is it okay to dislike Trump, but give him credit for the things that he actually does well? So that's the social discussion of the day. So while I agree that, I'm going to answer it. So while I agree that if you say that like, yo, I like this person, like if you're like, yo, Donald Trump is my idol, then I totally understand somebody saying, I don't want somebody like that as my friend, because that tells me the ideological way that you think, and I don't like the way how Trump thinks, so I don't want a friend like that in my circle. I totally get that, right? Like vice versa, if somebody's like, yo, I idolize Barack Obama, that tells you about that person. So I understand her saying, I particularly don't want anybody in my circle that way. And that's her opinion, and that's fine. So that's one thing. Second thing, broadly, is it okay to dislike Trump but give him credit? Okay, so I take out my personal feelings of Donald Trump and say, hey, I think he's done a good job of campaigning and then following through on his promise. Now, let's just address that for a second. My friend's comment was, yeah, but he didn't bring down the price of groceries, and cost of living is high. You know, he campaigned of something he's going to do over 4 years. It's been 4 or 5 months. How could you say that he's not doing that now? And that's my problem. And I even sent this back in the voice note to her. And it's like, this is what I find is not fair. And I find this is what divides us. And this is why I try to stay in the middle. It's undeniable that Trump has done almost everything that he said that he was going to do. Anything that could be immediately done, he did it with executive order. Like every day, this guy was signing 200 executive orders, more than, I think, if I'm not mistaken, more than any other president in the time that they've been in. With everything, with the army, with Howard University, Harvard University. Don't get mad, not Howard, Harvard. Immigration. He campaigned on immigration. There's almost like no border crossings. If you look on the spike on the chart, it was like here. Over the years, it's down here, the lowest part. That's good. Trade talks, the way he went about it, horrible. But he has China at the negotiation table, which a lot of people said that they were going to do, but never did because they were afraid. I don't know if I said this already, but I just don't think it's fair to be like, oh, the price of groceries are still high. Well, the price of eggs actually went down, but the price of groceries are still high, so he didn't do anything. Or the price of housing, like, I don't care who you are, you can't bring down the price of housing in 4 years. That's just an impossibility to do. And if you saying that Trump is not working on the economy is crazy work to say that, because he's renegotiating tariffs with every single country that the US does business. That is going to have a huge effect on the economy. Now, whether you agree or not agree with the way he's going about doing it, and whether you think it's going to have a negative effect, my point is he said he's going to work on the economy, and he is doing it. So much so that he put the stock market in a downfall. I had one of the worst years or worst days in like 20 years. And he is a money guy, and he's a stock market guy. So I just find it hard, and I don't think that it is I don't think that it's productive for us as a people, for us as a world, to dislike somebody and not say the things that they were doing are good, or the fact that they are doing what they said, or give credit when credit is due. I could hate somebody, hate them, and be like, I can compartmentalize things. I really hate this person, but I can look objectively and be like, they're good looking, or they're funny, or they're whatever. You know, it might not be my brand of comedy. It could be. I just think that Donald Trump is the president of the United States of America. Like it or not, he's the president. And to sit down here and highlight only the bad things and don't give him credit for anything, it dilutes the fact when there's now a Democrat in president and you're like, oh, this is amazing. This is amazing. Like, I just feel like we got to be fair. And if you're going to be fair with the bad, you have to say the good. And I didn't get that in the voicemail. I think people should say, yo, I don't like Trump for this and this and this. However, I'm going to give him credit for this and this and this. Great job on immigration. Just say that. That is fair. Now, when there's a Democrat in the in office or an independent or whoever, people will judge you fairly, knowing that you're not skewed, saying like, oh, I'm just a Barack Obama fan, so he can't do anything wrong. And I just feel a lot of people do that when they're talking about Trump. And I know that he's done a lot of bad things. I know that he's been convicted of crimes. Trust me, I know everything. But I'm able to compartmentalize things and put that aside, even though I don't agree with DEI, I don't agree what he's doing with Harvard. And I could sit down here and tell you the horrible things that Donald Trump has done. But I'm always going to tell you the good things that he's done. This is the social discussion. Can you like somebody and say the good things that they have done? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And thank you for the social discussion, friend. You know who you are. All right, this brings us to question of the day. Is a man still the provider if his woman pays the rent, but he covers everything else? I feel like this is a little bit of a trick question, but how could he be the provider? If you're the provider, you have to provide everything or you're not the provider. Simply what it is. All right, somebody says, let's mind the business that pays us. If they're happy, let them be great. Fair. Another person says, yes. Yes, do what works for your household. The earth is expensive. Okay. The best relationship is one with either person spending much time on, okay, that's just too long. Somebody says, no, that makes them both the provider. Exactly. Another person said, I notice only we have these conversations repeatedly. Okay. Another person says, damn. Yeah, okay, no, I can't read that one. Meanwhile, I'm over here thanking God for two income household, paying the bills, trip book. Okay, that's not really giving an answer. Gosh. There's no good answers today. Somebody says it's called their roommates. That's hilarious. Somebody says, does it matter at this point? We both are trying to survive. Who cares who pays what? I mean, I guess so. If he's paying everything else, so let's say, again, I always need context. If he's paying everything else and it adds up to $10,000 a month, I know that's a lot, but I'm just putting it out there. Well, let's bet. If he's paying everything else and it comes to $3,000 a month and she's paying the rent only and it's only $500 a month, he's still technically not the provider, but I could understand why it's like that. Maybe his money is, it comes in not on month at the time where the rent is paid. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Somebody says most definitely. Oh, there you go. Somebody says he's a little B. That's what he is. Wow. Somebody says nah. Somebody said yes. That's their business. No, the rent is the number one expense for a reason. Yes, but like I said, if the rent is $1,000, but all your expenses are both cars, electricity, whatever. If you have gas, the furniture, like this. Furniture is not an expense, but any month, internet, TV, phones, blah 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 blah. That could add up. You never know. That's why sometimes these questions are a little too vague. He's a provider, not the sole provider. That's what I'm saying. The provider, no, he's not the provider, but he is part of the providing duo. He's providing, isn't he? Yeah, exactly. There we go. All right, not too many good questions. I'll rely on you guys. Somebody says, no, he's a partial roommate. All right, let me know what you guys think in below. If a man is paying everything else, but the woman is paying the rent, is he still a provider? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to sports news. Congratulations to the New York Knickerbockers. Bam, 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 bam. I'm not sure what I said on yesterday's podcast, but I'm pretty sure I said that the Knicks were going to win against the Pacers and not like what the Timberwolves did, losing 4-1 in the Western Conference Finals. Boo, boo. I can't believe I was rooting for a team that only won one. That only won one game in the Western Conference Finals. So embarrassing. Congratulations to the Knicks. I don't know if they can come back and win 2 more games. I feel like the crowd being in New York, being in the Garden, I think really helped them. They won 111-94. I was unfortunately out. I was not able to watch the game, but I heard it was really good. What is my prediction now? It's a Saturday game in Indiana, 3-2. Oof. Can the Knicks bring it to a game? Imagine a game 7 at the Garden. All right. Pick a side, Trent. Well, my side is obviously Knicks. We're going for the Knicks. If I was able to watch the game, I would have better insight. All right. I think the Knicks are going to be able to pull it off on Saturday. And then I'll let you know. I guess it'll be a Monday game if they can win Monday. Whew, I'm nervous. Let me know what you guys think. I know BX Chef. I know she's definitely going for the Knicks. They're going to pull it off. That's it. They're going to pull it off. They're going to win Saturday. I think it's going to be a tight game, but they're going to pull it off. And when it comes down to the last minute, 30 seconds, Knicks will always do it clutch. They're clutch. All right, Knicks, game 7, and then we'll talk about it game 7. All right? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, that is a wrap on our special bonus episode. Literally, when I started the episode, I'm like, I'm going to make this quick. It's going to be like a little half an hour show. Yeah, guess not, huh? You know that I can talk, and on a Friday, I am chatty Patty. So I hope you all enjoyed the show. Sorry if I was a little bit rambling today, but that's why I have a podcast, because I like to talk, and I like to talk to you guys, and I like to hear what you guys are thinking. So hopefully this gave you some companionship on a Friday or Saturday morning. I know y'all like these bonus episodes, so hope you enjoyed it. And I'm off to enjoy the second part of my weekend. Before I let you guys go, just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the Channel Up podcast. For my YouTubers, if you're ever going on a flight or in a car or somewhere where you do not have access to internet, have no fear, because the podcast is available on all podcast platforms. You can download the show and take us with you. Never miss a Trent Out Loud episode. Just go to a new podcast site, type in Trent Out Loud, the show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And just like YouTube, we upload daily. Now, vice versa, for those of you who are used to watching the show on podcast platforms, thank you so much for all your downloads. Thank you for your comments over on Apple or Spotify, wherever you listen. However, we definitely need you guys to come and hang out here on YouTube, because it is just a vibe over here. The comment section is lit, and this is where most of the Out Louders are. All right, so come hang with us. Head on over to YouTube, type in Trent Out Loud, the show will pop up. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. That's mandatory if you want to be part of the Out Loud family. Don't forget to hit the like button. That gets the algorithming. Please comment where you're watching from. Even if you don't want to jump in on the conversation, I would love for you to, but if you're not, that's cool. But just be like, hey, listening and watching from here. It's a global podcast, and I love to see where y'all are from. If you guys are really enjoying the show, please try to share it with your family, friends, and loved ones, because it helps in growing the channel. We appreciate you. For those of you who want to follow me outside of the show, I'm available on all podcast platforms. I'm available on all social media platforms. I am the most active on Instagram, but my handle is always the same no matter what social platform you go on. It's Trent Out Loud. I'm most active on Instagram. I think I said that. Most active on Instagram. Yeah, I did say that. I'm most active on Instagram. Say it one more time, Trent. I'm most active on Instagram. And over the weekends, I put your comments in my stories. So make sure you check it out, because it's the weekend. We've also started a blog page on Instagram called Formerly Out Loud, and that's where we'll be posting some of the stories that we'll be talking about daily. So we only post one time daily on our podcast, but if you want to follow what's going on before or after the show, you can follow us on Formerly Out Loud, FORMALLY, Formerly Out Loud on Instagram. I think I'm going to change that name. I don't really love it. I just wanted something with out loud. If you guys have any recommendations of what we can change it to that's available, of course, let me know. I don't know why I'm asking you all that, but we're family. And if you made it to this point of the show, you're definitely an Out Louder. So let me know. Anyways, for now, Formerly Out Loud, FORMALLY Out Loud. All right, y'all. I'm going to party. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace!